Yes, hello and welcome, or welcome back to Mr. Francy Reads. I'm, of course, Mr. Francy, and I'm truly honored that you've once again chosen to join me today as we go through my, well, more than a weekly vlog. Okay, so, yeah. We're going to kind of start off with the usual intro of how my weekly vlogs go. In case you are new, hello and welcome, and I hope that you've been having a very sparkling August so far. Usually my weekly vlogs start off with a personal life update, then they go into a TV or movie watching update, then it goes into a reading update. I don't know if I'm going to do a TV watching update, but I am going to be doing a personal life update because there are a lot of things that I need to cover that very directly correlate with what's been going on here on my channel. So I'm going to dive right into that first. If we have time, then I'll talk TV. There's not a lot to say. And then I'll jump into, of course, my reading. So, very first update that I want to give you all it goes back to my monthly wrap that I did for the month of July, where the last 3 books I had not covered in a weekly vlog. I've decided, and it took me all this time, going back and forth, going, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? I've decided I'm not going to cover those books. So it's fine. I read a book in the month of July that has some controversy that surrounds it, and I'd much rather not discuss that book anymore. I don't know if I'll continue on with the series. I hope to, because I did like it, but I'd much rather not discuss controversy outside of a book. If a controversy comes up within the context and the text of the actual book, I'm fine with that, but controversy that exists outside of a book, it's just not something I'm comfortable discussing. So I had a great time reading, what was it called? Murder with Fried Chicken on Waffles, but I'm going to leave the book in the past where it is in July and not discuss that anymore. The next thing I want to discuss is the fact that I have not been putting out a lot of content lately, and that is something that is getting to me personally. Now, let's touch upon a very quick thing that has been existing pretty much since booktube existed, or pretty much since I started booktube. I started in 2020, here we are in 2025. It's been a long time, and yet one of the things that booktube content creators still continue to say to this day is that there is pressure that booktubers have to live up to. I agree that there is pressure, but what I don't agree with is that it's pressure that other people place onto content creators on booktube. I believe that the pressure on a content creator on booktube is pressure that is placed by the creator themselves. And so with that in mind, the pressure that I put on myself, it's been waning a lot lately, which can be great for my mental health, absolutely, but I'm very disappointed with the fact that I've hardly put out any videos at all lately compared to what I normally do. I then decided to go back to this month of last year, August of 2024, and let's quickly look at this, shall we? I uploaded 1, 2, 3... I uploaded 3 videos in the month of August 2024. I thought I was doing badly last month, where I think I uploaded... Let's find out, actually, because I am very intrigued to find out how many videos did I upload in the month of July. 7. And that, for me, is nowhere near enough. Let's quickly look from January, because I've started in case you're wondering, I've started creating playlists month by month. So I have a January, a February, a March, an April, a May, so on and so forth, playlist out there. If you would like to catch up on everything you've missed that month, or if you missed an entire month, you can just go back and totally binge it. I mean, we're in the age of binging, people, so why not just pick a random month on the Mr. Francy Reads booktube channel and binge the entire month? And if you want to make that month, July, you could only have 7 videos to binge. But I mean, in January, I posted 15 videos. In February, I kept that up. I posted 15 videos. In March, I posted 11. So a bit of a dip there. In April, I almost caught up. I did 14 videos rather than 15. In May, I did 10. And then we slid to the worst month. June, I did 6. And in July, just one better, I did 7 videos. And so far, I've done 2 in August, this being the third one. So it's been an interesting ride, let's put it that way. So, what am I going to do? How am I going to change that? Because again, the pressure that is placed upon myself as a booktube content creator is pressure that I put on myself. It is not comparative pressure. It's not me looking at other channels going, what are they doing? And I need to, do the same thing. Not at all. I have been creating booktube content for 6 years now. I don't feel any sort of a need to see what everyone else is doing and live up to what they are doing. I also am not thinking about the algorithm. I'm not trying to make money, so I'm not thinking, what do my subscribers need? What do I need to get a lot of views or whatever. No, I don't do any of that. So it is literally just pressure I put on myself for what I want to achieve out of my booktube channel. And I just want to put a big shout out to anyone and everyone on YouTube, whether you are a booktube content creator or a content creator of some other topic, genre, means. Please do the same as I do and, echo what I'm doing. If you're going to have pressure on yourself, make it your own pressure that you put on yourself to achieve what you want to achieve, not to achieve what you're trying to achieve in comparison to what everyone else is doing, because that never helped anyone. In fact, there is a very high burnout rate on YouTube, let alone also on booktube, a very high burnout rate for content creators who try to keep up with the Joneses and do what everyone else is doing. You don't need to do that. Honestly, the most successful videos, content creators, stuff like that came randomly from out of absolutely nowhere. And also there's a lot to be said for originality. So if you have an original idea and you're umming and ahhing about whether to post it if you're a content creator, go ahead and do it. You might as well. You never know your luck, as they say in the big city. Alright, so what I'm planning to do to bring it right back to what we're saying here. Clearly, this is all unscripted. Mr. Francy Live, hello! There's no take 2 in this. There could be a take 2, but there is no take 2. What I plan on doing is I'm going to try really hard to film a video every single day for 7 days. Day 1 was yesterday, today is day 2, and then if I can do that, I'll at least have 7 videos that I have filmed in a week, and we can go from there. Alright, so that kind of takes care of I'm way behind on the amount of content I would like to be putting out there, that by the number of videos that I put out there, and how I plan to rectify that. My next update is kind of a sad one. Not morbidly sad or anything. No one's passed away over here. Although I do want to send a lot of love. A dear friend of mine, you know who you are. Unfortunately, their beloved cat passed away recently. I don't want to name names, but you know who you are. And I am sending you a whole lot of love. I know as well as you do that cat has gone on to kitty heaven, and yeah, I'm sure they're having an amazing time in kitty heaven, but I just want to send you a lot of love. A lot of love. Anyway, yeah, so just a couple of, I guess, negatives, if you will. I was meant to have my next B12 injection last week on Thursday. It did not happen, and that's because my sleeping schedule was doing so well, and then it reverted back again. So I'm trying really hard to get back to where I need to be with my sleeping. I mean, I don't really need to be anywhere, but for the sake of certain things where I rely on businesses being open between the hours of 9 a.m. and 5 p.m., I need to be up during those hours in order to achieve what I need to achieve. So for the sake of going to get my vitamin B12 injections, which I need to start getting monthly from here on out, I need to actually be awake between 9 and 5 to get that. And if I'm not, or even if I'm waking up at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, it's not giving me enough time to get up and do everything I need to do before leaving the house and going to get it. So I need to really work on, my sleeping, my going to bed time and my waking up time. That's a very big one. I'm getting really distracted, recently, which kind of takes me into the what I've been watching section of this video because it relates to me and when I'm going to bed and affecting when I'm waking up in the morning. I am currently binging a rewatch of many different seasons of American Ninja Warrior. And that's because currently I am watching the current season of American Ninja Warrior. I love this show. If anyone wants to watch anything physical, where where it's not a contact sport, in the words of RuPaul Charles, drag is not a contact sport, where it's not a contact sport, watch American Ninja Warrior. Australian Ninja Warrior has been cancelled, so y'all in America don't know what it's like because it's been cancelled over here for many years, but it's a great, great show. For those of you who don't know anything about American Ninja Warrior and you have these ideas in your mind of what a ninja competition would be, basically it is that people individually go through an obstacle course, and depending on who gets furthest fastest moves through to the next round until eventually rounds and rounds and rounds later we have a winner. And so yeah, you're just going through an obstacle course. You're not trying to fight anyone physically or anything like that. You're literally going through an obstacle course and everyone's treated exactly the same way, whether you be a man, a woman, gay, straight, a black, brown, white, man, woman, you're treated exactly the same. And I love it. I think it's such a great show. The problem with my binging, okay, what led to my binging? Again, we're not scripted. Welcome to the weekly blog. There's so much to say and so little time. What motivated me to go back and binge American Ninja Warrior is massively in part thanks to my favorite ninja not being there the past couple of seasons, and it's really annoying me because I miss him so much. If you're an American Ninja Warrior fan, you have any updates on my favorite ninja, please do let me know, because I heard a rumor that they were meant to be back in this current season and they were not back. I am talking about Adam Rail, the concrete worker from Arizona. Yeah, he's not there in the latest season. He wasn't there last year either. And after being told he was going to be back in this season and not seeing him, I'm even more disappointed. So I went back and found what I could find to watch, because there's not a lot that I can watch with American Ninja Warrior, being that I'm in Australia and you got all these, geo-blocking situations that go on. But I can watch from season 12 onwards. So I binge watched season 12 2 nights ago, the entire season, and went to bed way too late. And then last night I watched all of the qualifying rounds plus the first semi-final round of season 13 before going to bed. Both of those seasons did feature Adam Rail, so I was very, very happy about that. Alright. There is still so much to catch you all up on, but we don't want this video to go for an hour, do we? So, I'm going to take a quick break, have a quick sip of my coffee drink for today, because I need coffee. And when we come back, we're going to talk reading for the month of August. What have I read so far? What did I think about what I've read so far? What am I currently reading and what am I thinking about that? All that and more coming up in just a moment. Alrighty, 14 minutes in, we need to begin the reading section. So, the first book that I picked up, and it took forever to get through, but that I finally completed, was book number 20 in the Coffee House Cozy Mystery series by Cleo Coyle, Bulletproof Barista. Now, before I go any further, I realized my mistake the moment I re-watched yesterday's video, Cozy Mystery Authors Please Stop Length, when I said, let's take a look at the most recent read I had of Coffee House. Oh, and I used that one, Honey Roasted. And I went, no, hang on, I read Bulletproof Barista. But anyway, this is book number 20 of currently 21. I am one book away and I already have the book. It's that big book there, because that's my TBR. Yes? Is that my TBR? Yes, it is. Yes. I don't know why I keep going back to look back, but yeah, that pink book spine there, the big tall one. That is book 21. And then I am up to date with Coffee House. And I don't know what I'm going to do with myself because I've been reading this for 3 years. The basic setup for this series as a whole is that we follow Claire Cosey, who works at the Village Blend. Originally, the Village Blend was run by a woman named Madame. Madame ended up having a child whose name is Mateo. Mateo ended up falling in love with Claire. They had a kid together, and then Madame kind of abdicated her throne of the Village Blend and passed it on to Claire and Mateo. Mateo doing the outsourcing stuff by going to get the beans, and Claire being the master roaster at the Village Blend. Mateo and Claire did break up, I believe, prior to book number 1, but correct me if I'm wrong, but if they didn't break up prior to book 1, then they definitely were broken up by the end of book 1. So Claire is now continuing to run the, I just said it, the Village Blend, the Village Blend in Greenwich Village in New York, while Mateo continues to go out and do the outsourcing stuff by collecting the beans. Claire is definitely a master roaster. There is so much she knows about coffee, and that's what intrigues me about this series. In this particular book, a famed comedian, Jerry, which I kept thinking of Jerry Seinfeld, and I'm sorry if I'm offending, but I'm not a fan of Jerry Seinfeld, so I wish the comedian's name was different. But anyway, a famed comedian, Jerry, is coming to the Village Blend to film some scenes for his new show. Claire has always been a huge fan of Jerry's. What she did not expect was the baggage he came with. Not too much later, a member of the filming crew winds up unconscious, and Tucker, Claire's employee's life appears to be in danger. What the heck is going on here? Claire dons her sleuthing cap once again to try and get to the bottom of the mystery. So yeah, my first complaint has to be that the name of the comedian was Jerry. I just wish it was something else. It could have been anything else. It could have been Matt, Simon, Joe, Paul, Sam. There are so many names we could have gone with it anyway. So to my thoughts outside of the name, a massive improvement on book number 19. However, I do still wish we had more moments with Madame. For those of you who do not know, hello, my name is Mr. Francy. Welcome. Not only do I like to sparkle, but I love my my seniors in my cozy mysteries, especially seniors who do some sleuthing. And in this series, Madame is definitely an octogenarian. I love her. She used to feature a lot more prominently in the earlier part of the series, but the more we go on, the less she is being featured, and that is a complaint that I do still have. So I did dock 0.5 stars for that one. Also, the cozy theme side being the coffee house, Cleo Coyle used to take this on quite dominantly in the first half of the series, in my opinion, where we learned a lot about coffee. But in the second half of the series, we're learning next to nothing about it. Case in point, this book being called Bulletproof Barista. The reason why bulletproof relates to coffee is because it is a brand of coffee. There's a brand called Bulletproof Coffee. There's more to the story and more to the reason why it's called Bulletproof Barista, but the reason why Bulletproof relates to coffee is purely that branding thing. There's a brand of coffee called Bulletproof Coffee. Okay, and the only reason we know this is because Jerry goes to order a coffee and goes, "Oh, you've got the bulletproof kind, can I have that one?" And Claire says, "Okay, let's make you the bulletproof one." We don't really go into details about what makes a coffee bulletproof or anything like that, just it's there. And I wouldn't normally complain about that, but in the earlier half of the series, we would get packed information about coffee and roasting and grinding and coffee flavors and methods and what differentiates a certain type of a roast or a bean to another type of roast or bean, and we're just not getting that in this second half of the series, which does annoy me. I get there is limited information out there, and maybe Cleo Coyle doesn't feel the need to do it anymore. I get it, it's a very successful series, so maybe should just more focus on the mystery side, but it does annoy me as someone who loves the themes of the cozy, all of my cozy mystery series that I go into them for the theme. And with this series, I loved getting the coffee information, and the fact that we're not getting anywhere near as much in the second half of the series as we did in the first is very annoying. However, the rest of the book is fantastic. I love anything to do with theatre, TV, movies, and having that being represented in cozies. So, Jerry's show theme was really intriguing. The mystery was like a very interesting onion filled with so many good layers that made me want to jump into the book and work to solve the mystery alongside Claire. All in all, a really good intro to the Coffee House Mystery series. I'm just sad that I only have one left before I'm up to date, and I gave this book 4 stars. Normally, the next book that I would pick up would be the... oh goodness, what the heck is it called? Country Store Cozy Mystery Series by Maddie Day, and then following that, I would normally pick up the Magical Cat Cozy Mystery Series, Cat's Cozy Mystery Series by Sophie Kelly, but the books that I need to read in those 2 series have still not arrived. And yet, you want to know something really funny? The books that I plan to read in both of those series for September have already arrived. I mean, I just can't win. So because of that, the next book that I picked up was book number 6 in the A Salem B&B Cozy Mystery series, Mrs. Morris and the Pot of Gold. Gorgeous cover, by the way. Now, the basic setup for this series is that we follow Charlene Morris, the owner of a B&B in Salem, Massachusetts. Charlene works alongside her employees Minnie and an orphan girl whose name is Avery. She also lives with a resident ghost named Jack. In this book, Charlene has hired a van to ferry her B&B guests to an all-you-can-eat corned beef and cabbage dinner hosted by Salem's Irish community at the Ancient Order of Hebermains Club. Oh my goodness, I did not write this premise. But anyway, it ended up being like a St. Patrick's Day theme. But she should have booked a hearse. It's never a good sign when the family's black sheep drunkenly crashes a party by punching the guy dressed as a leprechaun. But things go from troublesome to fatal when Charlene stumbles upon a second brawl in an upper room, and this fight, Connor Gallagher loses his anonymous assailant rushing past Charlene hidden by a hoodie. That makes no sense. Okay, anyway. Okay, wait. And this fight, Connor Gallagher loses his anonymous assailant rushing past Charlene hidden by a hoodie. Okay, there we go. That makes sense. Alright, so... yeah, that's basically what happened. They went to a St. Patrick's Day. I need to get a job where I write premises for books, because the ones that I literally copy and paste into my Goodreads review and then read them, I'm thinking, I even say it out loud, even now, as you can tell, saying, I did not write this. So anyone who wants to hire me to write a premise for their book, please do. Anyway, so yeah, basically Charlene takes her B&B residents to a St. Patrick's Day event night thing, dinner thing, and there's a leprechaun, someone who dressed up as a leprechaun there. That was really, really cute. But anyway, they end up, there's an argument, between 2 people. Charlene and the guests leave, but then one of the guests realize they've left their purse or their jacket or something back inside, an excuse to get Charlene back in there. And when she goes back inside, it's to hear an altercation between 2 people, and one person falls to the floor. She hears them fall to the floor. The other person, the assailant in a hoodie, rushes past her, and so Charlene's trying to work out what the heck is going on here, basically. So to my thoughts, honestly, the length of this book really took its toll on me, and there comes in, cozy mystery authors, please stop with the length. What started off as a really enjoyable read became less and less enjoyable the longer the book went on. In saying that, I do enjoy Charlene's interactions with Jack the Ghost, as well as her mother-daughter type relationship she has with the orphan Avery. The St. Patrick's Day theme didn't do much for me, because it's just not my thing. I'm not someone who drinks, and even if I were to drink a lot more than I do, I drink on my birthday and on New Year's Eve, and other than that, I don't drink alcohol. But if I was to, I don't drink beer, because I'm not one of those guys that says, I'm a guy, I need to drink a beer. Because I don't like beer. I find it way too bitter. So St. Patrick's Day it's not a thing in Australia either, so it doesn't interest me as much as it may other people. But I appreciate seeing the children from the B&B and their reactions to everything at the St. Patrick's event. I'm now over halfway through the series. Book 10 just came out this month, and so far overall I have to say it's an enjoyable read. I just wish Tracy Wilton would scale back on the page count. obviously, and I gave this book 4 stars, docking a star purely for the length because it got less and less enjoyable as the book went on. Had the length been divided, then definitely I think it would have received 5 stars. The next book that I picked up was book number 3 in the S.E. Cobb Senior Sleuth Cozy Mystery series by Patricia Rockwell called Valentine. This is a light cozy mystery series, and what I'm starting to learn with this series is that it is called a light cozy mystery series because we are not ever, at least in the first 3 books, investigating a death, which I really do appreciate. If that's what a light cozy mystery series is, that we have a mystery that's not a death, can I read more of those books? Because I tell you, way too many cozy mystery books, the mystery is a death. So, yeah, give me some more light cozies. So the series premise of this one is that we follow Essie Cobb, a senior that lives in the Happy Haven Assisted Living Retirement Community among her friends Marjorie, Opal, and Faye. In this book, Essie receives a Valentine's Day card from a secret admirer, but who exactly is the secret admirer? The stakes are raised when Essie attempts to pierce the padded heart at the front of the card, and white powder spills out of it. That's when the cops inform her that there is more to this card than meets the eye, and Essie will don her sleuthing cap to work out what the bigger meaning behind all of this is. The negative first is the reveal. I have a massive gripe with any book that glosses over a reveal, and this book did that. We did find the person we were looking for, but we did not get any explanation of motivation or means or anything like that. Given how intriguing the mystery was, that was definitely a letdown for me, and I docked 0.5 stars for that. In saying that, I loved everything else about the book. Essie, as a 90-year-old amateur sleuth, has not let me down yet. She's a lot smarter than most give her credit for, as her friends, especially Faye. There was another mystery outside of the card that Essie was trying to solve with regards to other female residents, and I enjoyed that too. All in all, the reveals, minimalistic approach aside, this, as the others in the series, was a really fun, light, cozy mystery, and I gave it 4.5 stars. And if you want to know, names changed. What happened to our 4 golden girls after they left their beautiful home and moved into an assisted living area? Read this series, you won't be disappointed. Our main character, whose name is Essie Cobb, very much reminds me of, Blanche, and the other characters remind me of the other characters. And now on to what I'm currently reading, which is book number 3 in the A Case for the Master Sleuth Cozy Mystery series by Alex Wagner, called The Wednesday Evening Club, and it is the other Alex Wagner. I've been trying to find stuff on Alex Wagner, and all the Alex Wagners I'm coming across are not the Alex Wagner that's writing this book, so it's the other Alex Wagner, who I can't find. But anyway, I am loving what they are writing. Alex can be a male or a female name, so I really don't know if Alex Wagner is a male or a female, but so I'll just say they. But I love what they write so much. The basic setup for this series is that we follow this Alaskan Malamute on the cover, whose name is Athos. Sorry about the lighting. Because we are following an Alaskan Malamute, there are pros and cons to following a dog as opposed to a human. One of the great pros is that he can basically walk around undetected by others and get snippets of information that humans normally wouldn't. But also, because he's not human and because no humans understand him or can speak dog in this world, things that he finds out, the next step is to find out how to translate this to the humans so the humans can work it out, and it's just a whole lot of fun. I love Athos's humor as well, because he keeps referring to humans as the two-footed kind, the two-footed species. Like, anytime there's an attractive person that comes into the book, Athos will think something along the lines of, and this guy, I'm sure, was very attractive to the two-footed kind of people, two-footed, beings. And it's just really hilarious. Athos ends up working alongside a kitten named Pearl, who believes that she is a tiger. She's such a little thing, but the way she views herself is that she's a big menacing tiger. And I love that as well. My big qualm with this book so far, I am there, page 172, which is over halfway through. My biggest qualm with this book so far is that I'm trying to solve the mystery, and whether I'm close or not will depend upon, is this book in the series actually a paranormal cozy book? the series is not a paranormal series. If it is a paranormal cozy book, then I'm way off with who I think the killer is. And if it isn't a paranormal cozy book, then I might be on it. But basically, Atlas's human, Odelia? Victoria, Odelia's the other one. Victoria ends up going to see one of her clients who lives in this massive gothic-like castle, who is really unwell, as is her daughter, a daughter from her marriage to her husband, who has now passed away and she's now with another husband. It's a very convoluted, onion-layered type of mystery in this gothic castle with very gothic tombs. Then one of the doctors who is there trying to help the daughter ends up dying, and we don't know what happened to him, but then someone else ended up dying, and so there's a lot going on, and I'm really, really, really enjoying my time, not only with the series, but with this book. So far, it is on track to get 5 stars from me, but if it ends up that the reveal has anything to do with the paranormal and can't be explained in a human mortal way, I will be docking from my star rating because it hasn't been paranormal so far. So while there are suggestions that there's paranormal activity going on, my hope is that they are literally red herrings, because if you have a series that isn't paranormal up to this point and then it suddenly becomes paranormal, that's just a bit weird for me. Like, I don't like that. I'd rather you just be bold and upfront and state from the beginning that you're a paranormal series. But anyway, we'll see how we go. But so far, if it's not a paranormal reveal, I'm really enjoying it because the mystery is so layered and there's so many tidbits of information that I'm picking up on and little clues here and there that I'm hoping are not red herrings. Really, really having a good time with this one. Alrighty, that's what we're going to leave because we're already over the half-hour mark. I have a lot of reading coming up, and as I already said, a lot of videos coming up. So stay tuned to the Mr. Francy channel. Hit that bell, ding, subscribe to the channel, get all the notifications, keep yourself sparkling, 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 sparkling. And until next time, especially when it comes to cozies, happy reading, bye everyone!